Hi, I'm Tamisha Monet and I'm your astrologer. Right now we're going to do a Saturn retrograde reading. What does it mean when Saturn goes in retrograde? What does this mean for you and how can you best utilize and maximize the energy? So in shamanic astrology, Saturn is where, and these are like the notes that I use that I have in my astrology report. Saturn is where we maneuver through limitations and restrictions hindering our reality. Saturn is where you accept challenges for the sake of gaining wisdom, how you respond to karma, authority, fear, self doubts, discipline, routine, structure, stability, maturity, and it's also fatherhood energy. Traditionally, Saturn is the ruler of the zodiac sign of Capricorn, and it also is the co ruler to the zodiac sign of Aquarius. So, what does it mean when Saturn goes retrograde? First, let's talk about what retrograde is. Retrograde is where a planet or an asteroid will turn and take a backwards approach to that part of our lives. This is the area where we put in extra work to avoid anything that can disrupt our state of contentment, our happiness, and how we avoid misery. So, what are some themes that we can expect during Saturn retrograde? Saturn will be in retrograde until September 18th in its native sign of Capricorn. You will find that your willpower will be tested. So, lessons that you've learned during your Saturn return, which is from age 27 rather to 29, you will see Saturn will test you to be like, are you practicing what you preach? Have you learned everything I taught you? Or do I need to crack the whip? And do I need to give you more hardship? Or are you ready for this next level? Are you ready for the success that you say you want? Are you ready for the money and the opportunities that you are called to and that you're meant to have? Because, for example, some of us may say, like, oh, I want to grow and excel in my career, right? But say, for example, I use myself. Let's just call a spade a spade. Let's be honest. Okay. I have said that I am ready for more like speaking engagements and more panel discussions and more events where I get to go and cover press. From a spiritual standpoint, during Essence Fest, I had the opportunity to have a press pass through my sister, the Closet Ratchet, my favorite Cancer, Talia. And I have to say, Naima is my favorite Cancer too, because she'll kill me, and it's true. I love my sis. It was 90-degree weather, and I was about to have an asthma attack once we were in and out of that 90-degree weather with that 100% humidity. I didn't have my asthma pump on me, so I had to keep stopping and drinking water and like trying to recharge and like practice breathing because I just kept getting winded. So what this was Jupiter was like, I'm sorry, Saturn, because we're doing Saturn retrograde now. Saturn was like, all right, you say you're ready for this next level, but you're not physically in shape for the stuff that you say you want to explore. So for me, I'm spending Saturn retrograde working on my health. So I have went vegan. In the past, I've been vegetarian. I've even been raw vegetarian, but I've never been vegan. So I've cut out the dairy, as well as the eggs. I was an octo vegetarian, so I still ate eggs and I still ate dairy products. The reason I'm doing so is I've watched With the Health, and I learned that dairy can cause you to have a lot of asthma and to build up more mucus in your chest and your lungs. So part of the reason I could not move the way I wanted to during Essence Fest was because I have been eating dairy, have been eating cheese, have been eating yogurt, and it was impacting my breathing and how I do what it was I said that I wanted to do. Also, with the eggs are a great contributor to cholesterol. So last year I found out that I had high cholesterol and was at a low risk for a heart attack. And I was like, first of all, I'm 29. I'm 30 now, but at the time I was 29. So I was like, there's no way I can have a heart attack. But because of even my diet, it was a possibility. So me taking precaution for the things that I want in my life is me being like, all right, Saturn, you challenging me. I'm going to meet the challenge. And you don't have to test my willpower and my strength no more. I'm going to show up for the things that I actually say that I want. So you will experience a lot of karmic lessons during a Saturn retrograde. So like exes that you've already like healed from, like they'll come back around and see, can they get back with you? And you're like, oh, I done been through hell and high water with you. Like, why would I get back with you? That Saturn way of being like, have you learned from this experience, or do you want to go back to this person or a person that you had a similar type of experience with, and do you want to create more karma in your life to work through and heal? So that's something that will come up during a Saturn retrograde. Also, when Saturn goes into retrograde, you will find instant karma. So, people be doing stuff to you and you be seeing it and you be wanting to react and you don't. And you will find that they will get their karma, and God will let you watch when you sit back and just stay in yourself. I'm not one of those kumbaya type of people. Anybody who know me know how I really get down. But during this particular Saturn retrograde, God has been asking for me to fight people without my hands. Be more intelligent. Practice emotional intelligence. Master emotional intelligence, because the place he's taking me to, the tax bracket that I want to be in, I can't be Tamisha from East Oakland all the time. I have to be an evolved, mature version of myself. And so a lot of my warfare has to be fought strategically, spiritually. I can't be out here putting hands on people. It's the truth. So, instant karma, good or bad. So some people have done some things to me in this season, and instead of me reacting, I've ignored them. And it was not the easiest thing to do, because it's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to respond in my flesh. I wanted to respond with my ego. That's me being honest. But because I kept my eye on my prize and what it was I said that I wanted in the life that I want to have, they got their karma, and boy did they get it fast. And I didn't have to do anything but sit back and watch. That's all I had to do. Now, also during the Saturn retrograde, you will see that there are consequences for lack of structure. Saturn rules like discipline, routine, order, being on time. And there may be opportunities that say Jupiter will bring to you during Jupiter retrograde, during this retrograde in Saturn. But because you're not like disciplined, you're on social media too much, you don't use your alarms on your phone, you're not using a planner, you're not using any planning apps, you're not getting off the phone when there's a certain project you should be working on, or certain things you should be giving your attention to, when there's homework that you're not doing, when there isn't time, intentional time that you're carving out for your life purpose, for your passion projects, to do the things that you have asked for, the opportunity will present itself and you'll miss it. Now, also during the Saturn retrograde, it can be the opposite. You can be prepared, you can be disciplined, and then you'll be like, wow, like I'm really getting the things that I asked for. So, Saturn is a strict father, old man energy, who's about his coins, and anything that gets in the way of you being your best evolved self, Saturn will like have it drag you until you don't want to be using it as a distraction anymore. Now with Saturn and Capricorn, there is a great opportunity to make money. So you will find like a lot of business ideas, because Capricorn energy is also business energy. So Capricorns rule business and expansion. A lot of opportunities for business will come your way, and just ideas that will cause you to be financially secure, be wealthy, create that long-term generational wealth. And that is going to be common during this season as well. Another thing that will come up is father energy and father wounds. So if you have like issues with your relationship with your father, he may have been absentee, he may have been there, not been there at all. He may have died. This energy will be strong while Capricorn is in retrograde, because Capricorn is father energy. So also masculine energy gets called into question. Like, do you practice toxic masculinity? Or what's your version and definition of a man? Have the man that you were when you were young, have you evolved, or are you going backwards and getting worse? These are all the type of things that come into question during Saturn in retrograde in Capricorn. Also, women, we have masculine energy as well, and we will also be tested on like, are we asserting ourselves better? Are we creating boundaries? And where we're also being too alpha, and when we need to retreat into feminine energy and receive.